Good afternoon. Well, for me anyway. Welcome to Wild About Nature again. This is twice in 3 days. I had to do a quick video because it's so beautiful in the garden. It's so still, and all the insects are out, like this peacock butterfly that looks a little bit worse for wear. Crikey, it's early on in the season and his wings are already, or her wings, assuming that they come out first. Hard to tell the males of this species, they look very similar. I think actually it's the underside of the wing that I'm looking for, but I'll have to check on the online and see what's going on with that. But crikey, she was in bad shape, must have been hit by a car. I thought I'd do a quick video about my composting and how I've hidden one of my compost bins. As you can see, the logs are all, aside from the logs around the pond, the logs are all gone, cleared away. And the reason I'm standing here is I saw the first Osmia rufa, the red mason bee of the year, a minute ago. But because I was blabbering on, I can't show you it now. But he was on this habitat here, and this one's really well used. As you can see, there's a lot of activity, no leaf cutter bees, but a lot of mason bees. Maybe some leaf cutters on the left actually, because it looks like leaves that have gone brown, but all the rest of them are definitely mason bees. And I saw the first ones, so the weather is certainly bringing out the solitary bees, and this area here is going to be buzzing, if you pardon the pun, in a few weeks. It will be, and there's nothing more I like doing than to sit out here in the early evening when I get home from work and just be surrounded by solitary bees, which they do have a sting, by the way, but they never sting. Like, they are so placid, you can handle them, pick them up, and they will not sting you. But even if they did, it's so minor, it's like a stinging nettle sting, it's tiny. But there's no recorded incident, as far as I know, of anyone either being stung or being hurt badly by a solitary bee. They do not sting. So if you are thinking of having them, there he is. I don't know if you can see, he's going back in there. He's going to the next one. I think he'll go to the one we just videoed. Oh, there he is. That's a beautiful Osmia rufa, red mason bee, in really good shape. Oh, there he is. I'm in the wrong place, but you can see that's a little, I guess, female, because they come out, I believe they come out, no, the males come out first. And there's a reason for this. In the tubes, the males are always laid towards the surface, so whoever is doing the tube from the back to front, they do the females first and then the males. And the reason for that is we are expendable and the females aren't, and that is true. So if they come out and the weather turns cold, the males will die. You only need one male really for, you know, I don't really know the word, inseminate's the wrong word, but you only need one male to sort out lots of females. So they do come out first, and that one would be a male. And I guess he's looking for a hole, and what he'll do once he finds the hole of his dreams, and there's 22,000 here, so he's got a lot to choose from, he will go in and check it out, turn round, and then sit with his head sticking out. If you watch my other videos, there's a really good one of these, I think it's called cute bees, and they're just sitting there, bless them, waiting for a female to come along. But that's what they do, so that will definitely be a male this time of year. It's the only one I've seen, and he is searching in a city full of holes for the, oh, if I zoom out, for the perfect hole. And he's got a lot to choose from. So right, back to the main event here. I've got, this is not going to be nice, so don't, if you're eating your dinner, turn this off, because I use composting not only as a means to make earth, not for vegetables by the way, for flowers. I also use it as a means to make earth and to recycle, so that bin men aren't picking up my leftovers and it's just naturally biodegrading back into soil. So I've got 3 there. They're all kitchen waste. My wife and I are both vegans, so it's all non-meat kitchen waste. That means basically anything we cook, any leftovers that we don't eat, and we're very good by putting stuff in the fridge, any leftovers are put straight in the compost bin. However, I put a new one in over here last year, and my rats, and I love my rats by the way, because I'm trying to get that symbiosis going on, and I want sparrowhawks to have food. So I do get rats, but 1 or 2, because nature takes care of the rest. But the trouble is, these ones are kind of surrounded by concrete, and there's stones underneath them, so the rats can't burrow in. I started recycling my cat litter. Now I use corn husks for cat litter, which is fantastic. But basically sweet corn, the centres of sweet corn, they dry them out and then they chop them up finally. What you're left with is a completely byproduct of the corn industry. It's totally reusable for cat litter, doesn't contain any chemicals, 100% recyclable, brilliant for absorbing odour and moisture, easy pickup if you've got cats. And those of you that watch my videos will know that I rescue and rehome cats. I've done about 35 in the last 2 years. Cats is a long story with me, but I don't necessarily agree. I certainly don't agree with buying cats that don't need rescuing, because like dogs, there's millions of them. And secondly, I would never let a cat outside personally, because they decimate wildlife. They're not native or indigenous to this country. There are some in Scotland, but they are pretty far and few between, and they're not, they're not all over the place, because they would, like everything else, have predators, and there's a natural equilibrium. But if we all let our cats out, we're basically decimating not only mice and voles and shrews and water voles and a whole host of mammals, but also insects. Nothing a cat loves more than jumping up and grabbing a beautiful butterfly. So all our cats are indoor cats, and they were all previously feral. So anyone who tells me you can't do that, trust me, having 35 cats in the last 2 years, which mostly from the outdoors that have been abandoned and consequently turned feral, you can. And it takes me about 2 weeks. I do have the catio down there, which helps. There's Frankie there sitting in it. I mean, that's a lovely place for them to sit. There's big poles and trunks in there they can climb up, but they have for the most part no interest in going out anyway. So this one that I placed here, the rats got in, and that was predominantly kitchen waste and cat litter. So you can see they kind of, I've obviously removed the composter, but what's left is this mound of cat litter and poo and vegetable waste. But it's all really, in the last 6 months, it's basically turned into earth. So I'm waiting for it to dry out, and then I'll rake it over the garden. So what I had to do was to find a place for that bin, which I put here, just along the fence. But it looks horrible from the house because it's right in sight of the house. So I thought, what can I do to hide it? Now, having all those logs that I've used some around the pond there, I thought, well, I need to cover it in logs, which is what I've done. And the result is this here, which I think blends really nice into the fence and into the woodland. Makes it, I don't think you can see it hardly at all at first glance. I probably need to do some shoring up. I've obviously put some pegs in the end there. I've slightly leaned it back so it's not going to topple over, and actually it's pretty sturdy, but I'm probably going to put some sort of wire mesh over the front of it, because what I don't want to do is for a fox to jump on it and then all the log pile fall on the fox and injure him. So I probably will do that, but I think I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks great, and it's made a log pile for obviously beetles and wildlife and newts to go under and God knows what else, and at the same time there's a path around the back where I can keep my compost heap, and I'll put some stones and that around that and some slabs in the bottom of the actual composter to stop the rats, because one thing I don't want to do is to feed the rats until there's ridiculous amounts, and then all my neighbours will do is poison them, and that then gets into the food chain, and sparrow hawks and birds of prey and owls and indeed other people's cats and foxes will eat those rats and get poisoned. I don't believe in poison at all. My garden's been devoid of weed killer and poison for the last 10 years, and you know what, a weed is just a hardy plant, actually a very successful plant, and some of them beautiful. All of the wildflower meadows would be considered weeds. But some weeds are beautiful and really vital to wildlife and insect life in particular. So it was just a really quick one tonight, and I seem to have gabbled on a bit, but hopefully you'll find some interesting points there. So if you are planning on hiding your compost bin, this is how you do it. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and get me back to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours a year, so that I can give some money to the World Land Trust again, who are fantastic. If you get a chance, go on their website. They do amazing work. David Attenborough is their patron, and I think they've saved about 500,000 hectares or something over the last 25 years of endangered rainforest. So every £100 I raise, I save an acre of rainforest. And outside of this channel, which I've only managed to save 1.5 acres before it got demonetized, thank you YouTube, before that I've done about 30 acres now from doing sponsored God knows what, and just every month I give a bit of money to them. If you can spare any, there's no better cause than protecting rainforests, which protects us, gives us medicine, gives us oxygen, and a whole host of other vital stuff for the planet. So cheers, I hope you liked it. I'm going to do another video this weekend after the new pond's in, if my back doesn't give out. Cheers, bye. That's it, the compost bin. There.
No, I don't see it.
It's against the fence.
Well, I don't see it.
It's right against the fence. Can you not see it?
No.
It is, look. Look up there. What's against the fence?
Logs.
Yeah. It's
There.
behind that.
Ah.